There we are then. Let's get the thoughts of a Wolves fan, because it looks like it's going to be confirmed, if not later today, tomorrow. Dazzling Dave from the Always Wolves Fan TV. Good afternoon, Dave.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thanks for asking us on today.
It's a great pleasure. It's a lovely nickname, Dave.
Yeah.
Have you always dazzled? How did this come
christened
about?
Dazzling?
It goes way back to when I was younger and when I first started up the YouTube channel by accident, and it's kind of stuck since.
Right. So I'm sure you've been doing all your homework on Pereira. So how are you feeling about it?
To be honest, he was a little bit left field because he wasn't on the list initially, and then obviously all of a sudden his name's been linked. But having looked into him, I mean, he's won titles at Porto. He's won titles at Olympiacos. He did well in China. Didn't quite work out for him as well in South America.
No.
But he has obviously got a passion to want to come to the club. And actually, his win ratio at Porto compares really well because he's got a better win ratio than both Nuno Espirito Santo, who obviously we absolutely adore and love at Wolves, and Julian Lopetegui for his time there.
Yeah, it's a bold one. So he's not worked here before. You know, it seems Portuguese manager's flavour of the month at the moment, and obviously you've got a Portuguese recent heritage at the club.
Yeah.
What does he need to do, Dave? You're watching the team on a regular basis. What's sort of day one in the intro as far as you're concerned as a fan?
Well, first off, we needed a reset. We needed a circuit breaker. It should have happened sooner, in my opinion. You've probably seen all the scenes at the end of Wolves games in recent weeks. Lamina, the week before last weekend with Ryan Ait-Nouri, and then obviously Matheus Cunha. It just was indicative of of everything that was falling apart. So the first thing he's got to do is get that team back together. He apparently is a bit of a disciplinarian, but he's also supposed to be quite an emotional, intellectual sort of guy, the sort of guy that hopefully can put an arm around a player or give him a kick up the backside. He's got to get that team back together because we've got undoubted ability on that pitch, but we've been playing as individuals, not as a team, and that's where we've been struggling. Plus, we need to strengthen immediately in the January window. So the owners have got to loosen the purse strings, and they've really got to back this guy if he's coming in.
It's going to be a bloke to lose Cunha, which it looks like he probably will. He's got that misconduct charge, and it's kind of kudos vibes, really. And he was 4 games, wasn't he? So you could be missing Cunha once that charge is. So that's a bad miss for him. He's an important player for you. You can do without coming in, trying to pick a team up and missing one of your best players.
Well, absolutely. I had the pleasure, actually, of bumping into Metheus at the services on the way back from the Fulham game.
He didn't rip your glasses off, did he, and tread on them?
No, I didn't have my glasses on there. I only wear them for reading. But bumped into him, and he's such an affable, lovely, lovely man. Really down to earth. He's been absolutely brilliant with the fans. So to see that at the end of the game was a real shock because we just didn't see that in him. I don't know what happened or what provoked him or anything. I'm sure he has got to make a statement to the Premier League and the FA, of course, because of the charge. I think he's got to do that by Thursday. But it looks as if he's going to get a ban. So it is a massive blow for us because, you know, he's fantastic for assists. He's been scoring a lot of goals. So for the new manager to come in and potentially lose him for a few games, it's not ideal. But he'll have to run with it, I guess.
Yeah. Would you look at Nuno at Nottingham Forest and think we let a good one go, although he was in charge of you for a long time? Do you miss Nuno Espirito Santo at all?
100%, mate. 100%. Nuno, he came in. He really had a reverence about Wolverhampton. You see the fantastic job he's doing over in Nottingham. It should never have gone. It was in the COVID season. It was very, very difficult. Obviously, he was away from his family as well. The football was a little bit stoic. Obviously, he was dismissed by the football club, and ever since then we've gone backwards. And if you do not look at moving forward or invest in this division just to stand still, you will go backwards. And so the last few years we've just gone from 7th, 7th, 10th, 13th, 14th, and here we are in 19th place. But the season is still salvageable because we do have incredible talent on the pitch, but we're struggling in defence. We're struggling with an identity. We're struggling with a team shape. And if we've got someone, if he's like Nuno 2.0 or is like half the guy that Nuno is, then hopefully we'll be all right. His points per game ratio over his entire career is something like 1.6 per game. We need around about 1.3 per game to stay up. So if he can deliver 1.6, hopefully we'll be okay. But he's got a massive job. But this is only the start of the reset for Wolves. I do believe that the self-sustainability model that Wolves have adopted recently sort of has to go a little bit out of the window. Mendes, of course, was pushed to one side. He's a Mendes client, so they've brought him back in a bit. And for me, they've got to find a halfway house between recruitment in-house, like what they have been doing, and also a little bit of George Mendes as well. And hopefully this will be the circuit breaker that we need. And if he comes in, he's got a big job on his hand, but we have a lot of talent. And if we bring some reinforcements in, hopefully we'll be okay. But I guess the proof is in the pudding.
Indeed. Dave, good to talk to you. Appreciate it.
Dave.
Thanks very much.
You're most welcome. Cheers, guys.
There we are.
Dazzling Dave.
Dazzling Dave there from the Always Wolves.
Says what he says on the tin.
YouTube channel. Those stats, the 1.3, 1.6, that's what he needs to do. Statistically, he knows what he needs to do. Going to make them slightly less pugnacious than they've been recently.